Yo, I'm Bob, totally blind since birth, into Power Rangers, talking about Season 1, Episode 56 today. We're on Fins and Needles. So this episode first aired on May 5th in 1994. I'd see it during the dog days that summer in early August after getting Fox added to our basic cable package. It was one of the first shows I would watch on Fox after binging Power Rangers all summer. It was fun to finally watch the show in my own home. And it's one of my favorites. It still is. Slippery Shark, the monster used in this episode, he's one of my all-time favorite fish monsters. So Jason and Tommy, they're teaching kids martial arts, and the Rangers are noting how well they work together. Rita is sick of their teamwork, and she's going to send the Slippery Shark down and use its rivalry spell to split these two up, get them to squabble back and forth. So Goldar, he says that the rivalry spell will do the trick. I like Rita's response here. She says, it might, yes. So by this point, she's no longer saying things like, oh, you better believe this monster's going to be the one. She's not saying, oh, yes, my monster's going to slam the kids this week for sure. Now she's just like, yeah, it might work. You know, she's lost several times by now. She's just kind of thinking, well, I'll throw something to the wall and maybe one of these things will stick. So the putties are sent down, of course. They've got Slippery Shark's boomerang fin, I do believe. And when Jason and Tommy touch this weapon, it causes them to begin to squabble. Jason is fed up with Tommy. Tommy's fed up with Jason. Tommy says he doesn't want to take orders from Jason anymore. He's sick of it. Jason tells him, if you don't like it, take a hike. The other kids notice them being at odds later at school. Maybe it's the next day. And Bulk and Skull. Before I saw this episode, I thought they were just goofy bullies, comic relief, but they hatch a diabolically brilliant idea to bank on Jason and Tommy's rivalry. So they're going to sell a whole bunch of tickets around school, and they kind of start their own little Power Rangers fight club. Never seen the movie, but I always think of the line, his name is Robert Paulson, whenever I think of Fight Club. I've seen that little video going around YouTube quite a bit. I always think of the guy who voices Raphael in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles whenever I think of Robert Paulson. Anyway, I'm chasing rabbits rather than slippery sharks, as I usually do when I think of voice actors. So anyway, the fight is halted before it can get started. It was one of the darkest scenes, I think, in Power Rangers history, though. Bulk and Skull just kind of snickering there in the midst of all these kids yelling, fight, 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 fight. Zach points to his communicator, says that they got to go, and everyone shows up to the command center. Zordon lets them know what's going on. Jason and Tommy are going to have to work together against the Slippery Shark, who's been created by Finster by now, and he's down on Earth. Alpha's early warning systems can't pinpoint where the monster is. He's that fast. His theme is speed. He can, I guess, swim through the dirt, kind of like a mole or a dromole maybe. So he's a land shark. Now I'm thinking of Saturday Night Live, the Pizza Man sketch. Oh, geez, Bob, don't go there. And so Jason and Tommy are going to have to work together to defeat the monster. And if Slippery Shark's in the Lightning Collection, that would be awesome. Eventually, if we ever did get him, yes, I wish Hasbro would make that. I used to own the action figure when I was a kid. He was part of the 5-inch Bandai Evil Space Aliens line. He came with this weird gun that he never used, so it would be cool if he actually came with this boomerang fin that he used in battle this time around. Just a fun monster. Jason and Tommy do eventually work together. They summon a net, I guess, from somewhere, and they capture him, and they break the spell, of course. The other kids are summoned in, but this monster, he is just wiping the floor with them for a while. Very fast. He's got that boomerang fin. He's also got very sharp fins on his hands that he can use in battle. I think if he was made in the Lightning Collection, they should add some lightning effects to his body to simulate him, going really fast. Maybe give him a little piece of ground that you can stick him beneath. Maybe have his fins sticking up out of the ground there. I don't know. A lot of accessories, but yeah, he's my favorite monster. One of my favorite monsters anyway. Why not? So you know how the episode goes. The kids make the power blaster. Rita makes the monster grow so that beam misses him. Even if it hit him, I don't think it would do much damage because he's ginormous. The Zords are summoned. Megazords form. Tommy summons the Dragon Zord. This monster, though, handing the Zords their butts until the Rangers decide to, coordinate their attacks a bit more. Jason, he summons the Power Sword. Dragon Zord bops the shark in the head with his tail. I think that's how my brother described that one scene there toward the end of the episode. The monster loses his fin, then the sword slashes the monster. You know how it is. The monster's destroyed, and the episode ends with Bulk and Skull's reputations ruined. Well, I guess they probably already had poor reputations, and they're having to give all the money back. They want Jason and Tommy to fight, but they don't. And I think the end quote reminds me of Obi-Wan Kenobi. I forget whether it's Jason or Tommy, but one of them says, "There's always a better way to fighting than fighting," I should say. So I'm thinking of Obi-Wan from A New Hope. There are always alternatives to fighting. So that's the moral. Everybody winds up laughing because Bulk and Skull look like goofballs. And the episode is over. It's one of my favorites just because of Bulk and Skull's insanely brilliant scheme to bank on rivalry this week. And I like the monster as well. Love to see him in the Lightning Collection. He's just a really cool looking monster. I used to love his biting attack feature that he had in the old Bandai line. Just a really freaky looking fish monster. I love fish monsters. Anywho, that'll do, and I will hear you guys next time. May the power protect you. Have a great day.